I think we're going here. Hey, y'all. There you are. Craig here. And this is just an impromptu little podcast thing that I just put together. I hopped on a call with a kind of longtime friend, somebody that I know through the old chiropractic world that I was in, kind of these energetic events that I would go to, and she was somebody that really, well, we really just hit it off, because she's got this she really, you know when you meet somebody and you just hit it off because you feel like you're being seen, like somebody actually sees what's going on with you in the invisible realm, when somebody's actually seeing you. And what does actually seeing you mean? More than just what the initial assessment is. So somebody's actually, especially if you're an empath or highly sensitive, like they are not so shut down that they're comfortable walking around in the empath world of the invisible, that they're walking around wide open and sensing. And then when somebody like that is walking around wide open and sensing and looks at you and goes, oh, brightens up, oh my God, that's the best ever. When somebody who's sensing the world like looks at you and brightens up because they just like they're looking at a miracle, those are the people you should hang around with. So I just connected. Her name's Alana Love, and I'm gonna this is just the intro that I'm just filming right now. I'm gonna attach it to about a 15-minute conversation. She and I had scheduled us to catch up with her today, and then we got right into this deep conversation. It's been a number of years since we've connected. It's like, holy smokes, I should be recording this, so I just hit record. But I think there may still be some good nuggets on there. And she also sent over her contact information. She's been doing coaching work for a while. She's a long time experienced traveler in this energetic world, and she's starting doing some more channeling. And those of you who speak that channeling language, I would suggest maybe tuning into her. 'Cause I really trust her spirit and the way that she looks at things. So I enjoyed our conversation. And I enjoyed how it was that she was describing the empath. And so hopefully you enjoy it as well. Now I'm going to finish up here so we can get you to the real conversation. All right, y'all. Okay, go. Hi, Alana. Okay. We started about 20 minutes ago, only 25 minutes ago.
Oh, really?
But we're talking about good shit, so we'll just record it now. This is Alana. She's just debuting as a channeler for the first time in the last day, so this may be your only chance to get exposure to her before she's so damn popular. It's so I'm grabbing all I can. And here's the empathic grab.
Right. To recap, what was just downloading is that empaths are visionaries and visionaries are empaths, and the two are entwined. We limit the labels. We have an impression of what a visionary is and an impression of what an empath is. Yet you cannot connect to somebody else's field unless you have a vision that that is possible, unless you have a knowing that it is possible. And
how does that happen? You can't read a book and learn it. So somebody almost has to draw you in. Like, how did you and I, let's like, okay, so let's.
You have to have an experience with what you are experiencing, not an intellectual experience.
All right, so meet me in this other realm right now. Go. Okay. See, anybody that's watching, see, it's that fast. It's that fast, right? We saw both of our demeanors immediately change, and now we're connected. We're connected here in 3 dimensions, and we're connected
elsewhere.
Other dimension. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's magic, and it's delicious, and it's I just have to I mean it's instantaneous.
And for those who are still kind of just in the muggle, and we're both muggles and wizards at the same time. So we love these words. But so Alana's on the East Coast, I'm on the West Coast, and I can find every aspect of her whole experience right now. It's the most amazing, beautiful thing to be awake to right now, this lucid dreaming of love. Not gonna happen.
Yum.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so part of the joy and of being an empath is that you get to experience what seems impossible to experience because it supposedly belongs to somebody else's energy. And yet the visionary within the empath and the empath within the visionary gives permission to experience, to witness, and play in the energetics that are what are true to what we really are.
And that's really powerful. True to what we really are.
Yeah. Because all the stories, the games, the circumstances would deny what we truly are.
Exactly.
And that's the distraction.
That's the distraction and the answer to so many of the fears that are run by stories, that are run by confusion about this. And when she just said, when Alana just said that this is the truth of who we really are, it means you don't have to boundary off from other people, from narcissists and energy vampires, because who you really are is embedded with the software to recognize, oh, that's not good energy coming at me. And it will just, it will discern shit and bounce it off like a shield as you become healthy and tend to this organic empathic plant that's wanting to come up.
And the empath will feel the solidity of those stories and those energies in the body.
Say more about that. Solidity of the negative stories? Like, are you talking about?
Of the stories and the denial of what each of us really is.
Okay.
It's like the masks behind me. There's different masks that different stories attach to. And those stories are attached to our physiology. They're attached to our emotional identity. They're attached to our psychological identity. And being a visionary dissolves or makes much of that irrelevant, because you cannot be in those stories and be a visionary. You cannot be in those stories and use your empathic connection to another human being in the true way of who you really are when that is active.
And when the empath is wounded or hidden or contracting, the only way out of that is actually to feel your way out, to use your empathic capacity to feel your way out of it. And one of the most rich things to do for yourself is surround yourself with other healthy and currently working empaths, who are actually utilizing that skill set, so that just like every kid that wants to learn to ride a bike relies on mom to hold the seat and hold the handle all the way until we can let go.
And in that process, there's a holy shit.
Every fucking time.
Right? There's a holy shit of, am I going to lose myself? Yes. and fall while I am engaging the unknown of this?
That came to me this morning. There is very much a holy shit, and there's no way around the holy shit. Except
and there's ways to do holy shit.
That's where I was going.
Holy shit. And then there's holy shit.
Well, there's both of those. At the bottom of the hill, when I was on my dirt bike this morning, I looked at that hill, I was like, holy shit. And then when I got to the top, it was holy shit. And before I even tried the hill, I warmed up for an hour and a half going over small stuff. So my body was actually getting good and relaxed in baby steps on the bike, so that when I looked at the hill, and this is the point that I want to come back to, is our eyes, when we're assessing something, the eyes will look at something and say, holy shit, because the eyes are only such a small, the eyes are not what I would recommend relying on in order to assess the size of the holy shit. Practicing with the body, practicing with the whole body. And that's what I was doing this morning on the dirt bike when I got really fluid, the whole body. Then I looked at the size of the hill. My eyes said, holy shit, my body's like, I got this. And when I let my body ride that motorcycle up the straight fucking hill, I got to the top. And my eyes then, which were part of my brain, and my languaging brain, and all that, the best place for that languaging brain is as a support staff to my heart and a support staff to my body, not running the show. And when I let them run the show, I crash.
My question to you is, which version of you was able to say, I got this?
Craig today 0.0. Now 0.0.
Right? Because it is the visionary that knows what is possible, that says, I got this. It is the empath that connects with the I got this. And those two together, when they come together, it's a slam dunk.
And it was that organ I recognized that when I'm looking around on the bike, there's fight or flight and there's panic. And what that does is it stretches my spinal cord, which is my organ that transmits all the information from the world around me into me and back. I cannot assess my least effortful and most graceful possible engagement with the world around me unless I'm accessing all my senses, which has to be shared up and down to the spinal cord, which does this.
And the mystery and the magic and the delight of that is that when you access that full communication that includes the outside world, it also excludes the outside world in that sublime moment, because you are fully present with the transmission and the potency and importance of what you're picking up from the field. And so as much as you are expanded and out there, you are also exquisitely present to those quantum moments,
yes,
that are unfolding and blipping in and out.
So you go there. So go there. Yeah. And now looking up and down through your whole system, what does your body right now from just the pelvis have to share?
Yum.
Okay.
I mean, it's
just the heart.
Yeah, there's just this.
Yeah. And then third chakra. Sixth, yeah. 7, 4. So when those all combine, and you play in that field, turning up some, turning down some, to really fine tune from moment to moment how it is that you want to not only just engage with the world, just engage with somebody else, so that you may come across somebody that is locked down, that is fearful. And this is, again, the beauty of the empath that can feel all the way out energetically, is
you feel it and you hone in. You feel it and you hone in. And while you're honing in, it's not at the loss of that. It includes that, because that's where, yeah, it is all that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Right? And this is why I love to keep coming back to like the play moment, because it's play. It's not so damn serious.
Oh, seriousness is the mind trying to make something significant. And the significance that comes in play is the bounty of play. That if people made play in the field of energy, in the experience, if experience was seen as the spirit playing in flesh, we'd have a lot more fun experiencing what life has to offer us.
And just with that, spirit playing in flesh. So stop whatever we're thinking right now and let's just play right now. Spirit in flesh. Right? We can go big, we can go like 1,000 miles.
We can go from being the cosmos to being a microscopic subatomic particle at the same time, and be that particle with the awareness of the cosmos, be the cosmos with the awareness of that particle. That's the paradox.
Can I be a caterpillar?
Yeah. We're dreaming.
And with wings, I remember one time I'm always playing with this stuff because you just always have it. I love the question, what if, right? So I've been having an intimate exchange with a really super fun and playful and sensitive partner of mine, and she was expounding on some kind of powerful thing that she just had, and I was like, I had my little, because I'm a little bit of a clown and a little bit of a court jester.
You?
Little TV thing. It's like, oh, all right, so I wonder what can I play with right now just to test it? You know, like, does this actually work? Like, how far does this go? So I think you said we might have been when you and I were talking before recording here, that we limit it. And so, you know, I question myself pretty regularly. It's like, how am I limiting this? And so it's like, okay, so if she's actually in this spirit room right now, what are the limits here? How am I arbitrarily limiting it? So like, how would I test this? Okay, I'm going to put sparkles around me. No, that's too easy. I'm going to do something that would be really obvious. And so while I was just like looking at her, you know, just with a blank face, I just popped up these wings out of the middle of my back and started to grow them out of my back out to like 40 yards. I don't know, maybe not 40 yards, 15 feet out. And to see the look on her face as she was looking at me, watching wings come up out of my back, like, okay, Craig, there's your what if. You're clearly limiting yourself. You don't have any more answers, but other than you're limiting yourself. Like, this is amazing. And now what?
I did a channeling years ago on the word if. And if is intellectual fantasy.
If.
Whenever we say if, it is an intellectual fantasy. I will just put that nugget in there.
Okay.
There was a whole lot more to that, but if is intellectual fantasy. If I can, if I can't, if this happens, if this doesn't happen.
So then what I'm getting there is I can either say, oh, intellectual fantasy, that means I'm kind of stuck in my head and I want to stop. Or I can say, because there's a way to God through here, there's a way to God through here, there's a way to God through here. And as you were mentioning a couple of minutes ago, we can start at whatever size, minuscule or huge, but I start at whatever size my brain naturally produces. And then as long as I fill it in with soul. And, you know, with
be the visionary.
Be the visionary.
If it's intellectual fantasy, then choose what your fantasy is and choose what your intellect is. Bring the two together, but play big.
Play big. Yeah.
That's it. Play big.
Play big. Be brave.
This has been fun.
This has been fun. Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for listening to that all the way through. And again, her name is Alana Love, and kind of like a lot of love, like a whole lot of love. I will put her contact information in the post because she just sent that over. Um, Real powerhouse and lovely human all around, as you can see. So yeah, super excited to get to connect with her and get to share some of this with you all. And I'm planning on to continuing to do that more um, with more just more cool individuals who I find have a unique and empowered way of working with the highly sensitive or the energetic or empathic world. So I've really been enjoying some of these conversations I've been having and want to share them more. So I will put her contact down below. And if you're wanting to, if you haven't hopped on a tribe call or you want to know more about the work that I'm doing, the energetic work and this playing big and how that might support you to play big in your own life, in your own relationship, in your own work, in looking back in your history, especially all those painful parts and things that just like bring up that oh and kind of looking at how those actually are the critical pieces that show us where those are the fuel actually for where our highly sensitive nature grows from. So, and what ends up keeping us from really playing big is usually an attachment to one of those old stories that we haven't actually completely forgiven ourselves from fucking up something in that situation, or some kind of shame or guilt or some sort of story around us that we screwed something up and don't actually deserve a complete forgiveness there. So, and this energy work that I do, that's really in the end what was probably the single biggest revelation for me was when somebody that was really skilled at being able to hold the energetic grid work in place, and that I played the feeler. I was able to feel into the dark parts of me without distracting myself, which we're so good at doing pre-consciously, just distracting ourselves, and oftentimes so quickly that we don't even know that that's what we're doing. So that's really the work that I'm here to do, and I think the work that so many of you are here to do as well, is actually learn to be a skilled feeler and a skilled grid worker, so that you can really support that energetic grid to help other highly sensitives kind of feel where they've come from and actually feel that it's not destructive. It's that you're not as maybe as bad or shameful or all that stuff that just needs to come up and out. That's complete the process of the spiritual digestion. All right, and so that's really what some of this energy work is so powerful at doing. So if you want to know more, feel free to shoot me a note on here. I do a no charge consultation with folks to see if what you've got going on is something I think my work can help, and if it's not something I think I can help with, we'll give you other names of people that I know, like Alana or other folks that I know of that are super powerful and I've had powerful personal experiences with them. Those are really the only folks that I end up recommending, and people that I know from here can really pull out the goods. Okay, love you all.